Bangarang! We are going to talk about Hook today. Welcome to CineBites, a cinematic culinary podcast where we review food and movies, most specifically movies with food in them. And today we have Hook, an all-time classic with Robin Williams. So we are excited to talk about this today. At least I am. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Feast your eyes. Yes.
You weren't expecting the bangarang.
The bangarang! Came in with a bangarang, that's for sure.
Came in with a bangarang. No, this is, I know we chatted a little bit about this prior to recording, and, we've talked about how this is a nostalgic movie for a lot of people who grew up with it, myself included. Even though this movie came out when I was born, it was still a very staple movie for me growing up as a kid. But definitely enjoy it. And I can't remember the last time I saw it, but when I was talking about this and going through the scenes and everything, I remember it like it was like riding a bike. I mean, it's a lot of it started rushing back to me, memories of watching this. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about Hook, a little bit about the plot, and get right into it. But before we do that, there's one specific moment in the movie where Peter Pan is trying to use his imagination for food and trying to make something out of nothing, because that's what the Lost Boys did when they were all gathered together. They were eating in what looked like out of empty bowls and plates and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So Peter Pan thought they were crazy. So today we have an imagination pie, which, as you can see, you can't see it. Or as you can see, you can't. And
it's delicious.
It's just this empty pie right here, which looks really good.
I see it. Do you see it?
I see it perfectly, and it looks delicious.
Yeah.
But in case
you guys probably don't see it. You guys aren't believing.
In case you can't see it, you need to believe. You need to use your imagination to make this come to life. And if you're listening, you need to use your imagination as well, and just think about the pie and the colors and how delicious it sounds and tastes.
Think of the most beautiful, delicious pie you can think of.
And 3, 2, 1. And there it is.
It is.
The beautiful imagination pie. As a kid, when I was we didn't
get plates.
What? Oh, I'm just gonna dig.
We're just gonna dig in.
Once he, Peter Pan, once he, cut the coconut open and was able to imagine what was going on. He, all of the food there looked so good as a kid, so delicious. I mean, and this right here just is a flashback to that memory. So let's see if it was as good as they made it sound.
I didn't get a crust in that bite. It's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was like a custard with a whipped topping. This looks so good.
It's just like, it's what you would imagine from the Lost Boys. It's just a sweet pie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sweet, vanilla-y.
Man, it's tasty.
And
so good. I like this.
I do too.
I feel like a Lost Boy.
And once again, this pie 100% homemade from scratch, except maybe the crust, but
still fantastic.
Wow. Uh-oh.
We're going to imagine Johnny in the scene here in a few minutes for our drinks, because he wanted to make it pristine and fresh, and so he's going to do it for us. So he will be joining us shortly, just as long as we imagine hard enough. We'll get our drinks. But always a shout out to Johnny. We bring this up, and very much so appreciate all his help and his addition to this team, and it's just been so great. So
we're just going to town, just not getting slices. We're just
first pie, right? First pie on the show.
True,
and it's really good. Want to savor the moment. So it's really good. So I'll start chatting.
I'm just really hungry too. I don't want to eat this whole pie.
I'll start chatting
but
about
I bet we could.
Hook if you'd like me to.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Well, as I took a
Gotta
big
get
bite.
some of this blue whipped cream.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Hook is basically Peter Pan leaves Neverland, grows up, becomes an old guy.
A lawyer, right?
A lawyer, I believe. And he forgets all about his time at Neverland and being a lost boy and everything. And so what's prompted him to remember is his kids get kidnapped. And he needs to go back to Neverland to save them. And so he does that.
Well, he doesn't even remember till long after he gets there, right?
Yeah.
Because Tinkerbell has to drag him to Neverland.
Right. Yeah. That's a pretty funny scene too. Also, star-studded cast: Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, Dustin Hoffman. I mean, they did a phenomenal job with this role, or with this movie. And so Peter Pan goes to Neverland, still not remembering, and pretty much the entire movie. And I'm gonna brush over a lot, just kind of broad stroke this, and it's basically him remembering his time at Neverland and the Lost Boys, and it all coming back to him. And so, the magic and all that of who he truly is it comes back to life. His youthful spirit, all of that which has made Peter Pan great is back to him again. And so that's, there's a lot of iconic moments. I know I've mentioned that if someone chants anywhere in a room someone's name or something, you'll hear me shortly after, chanting Rufio for just to be different. And so there's a lot of cultural moments that have stuck with people who have grown up in this era, and it's just a great movie. Dustin Hoffman, and this I know we don't do spicy takes anymore, but my spicy take is this probably underratedly one of Dustin Hoffman's best performances I think I've ever seen. Just because it's so theatrical and it's unlike his other roles that he has done. So love Dustin Hoffman in this. I mean, obviously Dustin Hoffman has a huge catalog of amazing work, but I don't think this should fly under the radar because he did such a great job. And then, of course, Peter Pan, Robin Williams is a legend, R.I.P. And I don't think anyone else could have done the role as well as he did during this era. So yeah, a lot of great moments, a lot of things to take away from Hook. Absolutely love it. I forgot how long it is. It's 2 hours 22 minutes, but as a kid, it seems like forever. But as a kid watching this, I mean, it just flies by just because you're so engulfed in it. And I love it.
About that, the length of the movie, I watched a few weeks back just randomly. I watched a video, kind of like a documentary, YouTube documentary, on Hook. By shout out, I think Yesterworld Entertainment, I think is the name of the channel.
Okay.
So I've watched a lot of his stuff before. He does lots of like Disney park things and a lot of other stuff. But anyway, this video is about the production of Hook, which, by the way, I didn't know until I watched that video a few weeks ago. I guess I just never realized that Steven Spielberg directed this movie, which is just absolutely insane to me. The fact that not only a star-studded cast, but directed by one of, if not the biggest director at the time, one of the biggest directors ever. And so, anyway.
Probably how we got the pull, too, to get all these people.
Yeah. But anyway, the production of the movie, there's lots of different things that happened with it, but I think they said that the original cut of the movie was over 3 hours long. Some people have even speculated in saying that there was a cut at one point that was like over 4 hours of this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Crazy.
They cut a ton of stuff out of this movie, which people are saying is probably is the cause of some of the weird pacing in some parts of the movie, because it was supposed to have a few different scenes to do. And also one criticism this movie gets is the daughter's name. What's the daughter's name?
Shoot, I just had it up too. It is.
I know you remember.
Sorry, 1 second. I know the actress name, Amber Scott. Maggie. Maggie Banning.
Yeah, so that she played, her role is very minimal and doesn't really do much in the movie, as much as the son does.
Right. Yeah.
And so that was one criticism, and I think that was partially because a lot of her scenes where
cut out.
Yeah, that built her character were cut out, because they're not as detrimental to the plot of the story. So
yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. That is originally 3 to 4 hour movie, still 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the set design, I mean, with a set like that, you want to take advantage of it. I mean, it's a beautiful set.
At the time when this movie was produced, it was the most expensive movie ever produced.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. That's crazy.
I say the most. It was one of the most.
Man.
I think by the end of it, it became one of the most expensive movies. I think in the video, I'm remembering, because I rewatched Yesterworld's video, he said that the initial projected budget was $50 million. $50 million in 1980, whatever.
Yeah.
And then after starting it and everything, it eventually doubled, where it was actually $100 million to produce it. And in today's money, that's about $400 million for the production of this movie.
Crazy.
So at the time, it was one of the most expensive movies, if not the most expensive movie ever.
Yeah. You want to know what the 5 Oscar nominations were in 92?
Score, visual effects, editing, and lead actor. And maybe something else?
No, almost had it. It was best music, so essentially the score, and original song.
Okay.
You said the visual effects. Costume design was nominated, best makeup, and then best art direction, set decoration.
Okay,
so
that makes
sense. It got
sense.
nominated for a set, but
See,
I don't know if it won it.
That makes sense to me, because this might be a little bit of a hot take, but I don't really like this movie that much.
Hot take.
All
right.
Now,
give us
I
the
actually
hot
don't
take.
think it's that hot of a take, because it has a 29% Rotten Tomatoes. But as we all know, critic reviews are sometimes, whatever. Audience reviews are a lot higher, but still only a 76 for audience reviews on Rotten Tomato. You're looking at 6.8 on IMDb, 52% on Metacritic. So overall, it doesn't get the greatest ratings.
Yeah. But why? So why, in your opinion, did you not?
I don't know. To be fair, I need to rewatch it more on a fresh mind. But look, we have
our imagination has worked.
Our imagination has worked.
So
yes, here we go.
Here's Johnny. Welcome to the show again. So we have papaya lassi from the great Johnny. So we imagined some great papaya. So thanks. Give it a hand for Johnny. Thank you for joining the team. We love it.
Audience.
And actually, here, if you want to take some of this, we already rated on this, But yeah, try some of that. That's delicious.
Yeah, we just imagined it away, and now it's gone.
Imagined it away, and now it's gone. Awesome. Thanks, Johnny. But so
what was I talking about?
You were talking
I don't
about
like
how
this
much
movie.
you hate.
No,
You do it.
I'm saying
it's context. This is one of Johnny's favorite
top
movies
5 movies of all time. He was very excited. Now, here's what I'll say.
And Adam's like, all right, let me talk about
I don't
how
hate
much
this
I
movie. I don't hate this movie. I don't think it's worthy of a 29% Rotten Tomatoes.
Ooh.
I don't think it's bad by any means. But when you lose the nostalgic factor, which I don't have as much, we did have this movie on DVD when I was little, and I did watch it when I was little. So there is a little bit of a nostalgic, but it came out 9 years before I was born.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this movie is like, I know it's meant to be it because it's a family adventure comedy, but it's just dumb and silly for just because. And a lot of things that happen in the movie are they just happen because, or some things just don't make sense. that happens in the movie. One thing that always confused me, and when I was rewatching some videos to kind of refresh and things about this, is at the very end when Captain Hook, the TikTok croc, is that what it's called, comes down.
And he just disappears.
He just disappears.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the assumption is you hear this sound. The assumption is you hear like the croc burp or something.
Yeah, you think
the
that
assumption is that the dead crocodile somehow consumed Captain Hook and he just disappeared and he ate him and died.
Like, he's gone.
Yeah. Things like that. I mean, I know it's a kid's movie. I know maybe it might have been more gruesome to see him get eaten. But I don't know. Just things like that. It just didn't hit for me as much as but one thing I do think I agree with all those Oscar nominations.
Yeah.
I think the music is great. It's done by John Williams, who did all the Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all that, because of course it's Spielberg. The performances, like you've already said, Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams, great performances. I have no problem there. I think it's honestly, I think the biggest downfall of this movie was the direction.
Really?
Yeah, honestly.
And that's from
Spielberg.
One of the greatest directors of all time?
I think, and now, I will say, and if you watch that video from Yesterworld, it kind of explains part of this. The original intention for this movie is it was supposed to be a musical. They had written a number of songs for this, and then only one or two of them actually ended up in the movie. It was originally supposed to be a musical. He had it over 3 hours long, but there are so many different production issues that happened with this that I think it just fell through. So I'm not putting all the blame on Steven Spielberg because of course he's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
But I think there's just different factors that just made it not hit for me. But
sure.
Performances great, costume design great, of course.
Yeah.
The music, the set design, the source material and all that is all great, but I just feel like in general, the story and just some dumb things that happened in there kind of fell flat.
I think, and I agree. And I always have to guard myself, or not guard myself, but let my guard down when it comes to nostalgic movies or any kind of era, because I need to put myself outside of it. Like, for example, growing up, I loved Space Jam. Space Jam is not a good movie. And it is poorly acting is very poor. Everything about it is very poor. But I loved it because of its nostalgia. It's what I grew up with. I'm wishing and hoping, and I know that Hook is not in the same category as Space Jam. However, it could be if you're not, if you're too caught up in. Oh, I love this movie because it's, what I grew up on kind of thing, And so you always have to be careful of that. I've just always loved Hook. I always thought it was just it was a fun movie, a funny movie. I love Robin Williams, and I still stand by Dustin Hoffman being fantastic in this movie. Even the fight scenes with Captain Hook and Peter Pan, like towards the end when, and when Lost Boys are getting all set up for war, essentially, it's just, as a kid, you're just like, oh, that's so cool how they're able to just drop their armor on and stuff like that. So like there's a lot of cool elements, especially when you're little and watching this for the first time. But I can also see from the outside where if you either didn't grow up on it or where a lot of things can be silly. But that being said, I feel like my rating for this is a well placed rating, especially for the food and for this. The papaya lassi is actually pretty decent.
It's pretty good.
I can't for some reason I can't put my finger on if I've had papaya often in the past.
So do we explain that there's a part that they have this drink in the movie?
Oh, it's the papa lassi, or they call it papa, but it essentially looks like a papaya lassi. I don't think they say it's specifically a papaya, but that's why we're drinking
papa,
this.
Which is like papaya.
Yeah, that's why we're drinking it. But it's tasty. It's pretty good.
It's very sweet. This is a very sweet episode. That's really sweet. That's really sweet.
That was a lot lighter than I thought. I thought
Really?
it was going to be a lot sweeter.
I actually thought it was really, really sweet and heavy.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I see what you mean, though. I mean, the top was just whipped cream, not like buttercream, so that does make it lighter.
I was expecting more of a buttercream sweetness, but yeah, I get what you're saying. But no, it's pretty good. So let's show our ratings in 3, 2, 1.
I got mine.
Oh, okay. So yours isn't
7-1.
too far off from mine.
No, mine's not too low.
7-7.
I said I didn't hate the movie.
No, but you did say
I would
that
give
it
the
was
movie.
dumb.
Yeah,
No,
I did say it was dumb and just really stupid overall.
Yeah.
No, I mean I think the food brought this up slightly for me because I do like this pretty well. This is fine. It was fine. It's just very, very sweet.
Yeah. It was fun too.
And I think that honestly made it higher for me because it's fun, it's funny, it's imaginative.
Yeah.
So in general, I think that it brought it up for me.
That was good. No, I think we very fair ratings for it, and Hook. I mean, yeah, it's if you haven't seen it or if you didn't grow up on it, definitely watch it. I mean, it's in that era of I feel like a very unique time frame of movies for kids, and I think
it's
it
very
fits in that
80s,
mold.
early 90s feel for sure.
Yeah, it fits in that transition. I'm just looking at another thing that came up, like Never-Ending Story kind of fell into that era too, and so that kind of reminds me. And there was a couple others, like Jumanji. Jumanji was early 90s, I believe, but it was or Goonies, or it kind of felt that mold, but
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Another fun fact. I'm just remembering. Get more details. Go watch Yesterworld's video after you listen to this episode, because a lot of the information I'm spitting up I learned from his video.
Yeah.
But Leonardo DiCaprio auditioned for the role of the son in this movie.
Really?
Yeah, but then got beat out by whatever the actor's name.
Well, and then look where Leonardo is, and look where the son is.
Yeah, and then there's the little boy in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He also auditioned for the role in Hook, but Spielberg said he was too young for the role. They needed a boy that was a little bit older.
Oh, wow.
But he liked his audition so much that he
put him in
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, very nice.
Which is probably a better thing for him to be in anyway.
I mean, Jurassic Park was, in terms of popularity and cinematic, I don't want to say relevance, because Hook still has relevancy. Jurassic Park, I think, is light years beyond.
Oh,
Hook.
yeah. It's in its studio influence and its groundbreaking nature. I
mean, even the animatronics for the dinosaurs was groundbreaking.
The animatronics and the CGI.
Right.
The CGI, and we might do Jurassic Park for an episode someday.
Actually not a bad idea at all, because they go into that
have.
Dining area and they're eating like the Jello and stuff. So
hey, we might do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Jello, and then there's is it coffee or is it just water when it shakes and it gets the ripples in it?
It's just water.
It's just water.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll drink some ripply water.
Yeah. We just have something
that might be an episode.
Something shaking the table the whole time.
Yeah, that might be an episode. The CGI in Jurassic Park still holds up to this day.
Yeah. No, very good. So let's go ahead and get into Cinesnacks.
Yes.
So it is your turn to do this. I am going to be guessing.
Yes, I need to. I have the movie. I need to think of some hints. Let me write them down.
Okay, that's fine. You all know how to play by now. Yes or no questions. So we're gonna go through that. This papaya at Lassie is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it's actually really good.
We're gonna talk more about it if we don't already before this comes out. About posting the recipes that Johnny uses. So if something sounds good that we're using on the show that you'd like to try at home, we can definitely post it or just message us if you're curious about it and want to know what that is. Just message us and we'll give you the recipe and exactly where we got it and how we did it. So so that's something. So as you're listening to the show, you can enjoy the food and drinks along with us. So, excited for the future foods and drinks that we're going to be trying.
All right, I am ready.
Okay,
let me write it.
Okay, I think I need to become more prepared with my questions. But
by the way, last episode remember you said something. There's one question that neither of us have asked.
Oh yeah, and I don't think I said it. Well, I'll ask on this.
Okay, well let's see.
Well, and it may not be a good
helpful.
question. Yeah.
All right, I guess I'll show them.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna look away.
I don't know if you can read my handwriting, but it's there, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute if
Okay.
you don't know.
All right.
All right. Oh yeah, timer. What am I doing with my life? 2-minute timer. I was ready with everything else except the 2-minute timer.
Yep.
Here we go. Okay, Google, are you going to work? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Is it 2020s?
Oh, shoot. No.
2010s.
Yes.
Okay, so it's within the last few years. Okay.
Yeah.
White male lead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it there?
There's
couple,
2 leads.
Both male.
Yes.
Is the other lead black male?
Yes.
Lead? Okay, so black lead, white lead. Is it a comedy?
Yeah. There's comedic elements,
But more of an action comedy.
No.
Okay. Is it? Oh, so dramedy?
Yeah, I would call it
More
a
of a dramedy. Okay. Are both actors very well known?
Yes and no. I would say so, but they're not huge.
Okay. Is the white lead very well known?
Yes and no. I would. That's a hard question because I know who it is, but
are they both police officers?
no.
Are they?
You have a minute.
Do they have the same occupation?
No.
Is this a remake of a movie?
I don't think so. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think so.
Okay. Are their occupations known in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a big part? Their occupation is a big part of the movie.
Yes.
Is it animated?
No. You have 30 seconds, and I have hints too.
Oh, hint.
Piano.
Piano.
Yes.
Is the black guy a pianist?
Yes.
Okay. Is the white
You're
guy?
already writing it.
Is the white guy Viggo Mortensen? Okay.
Yes.
But I'm trying to remember of what it's called.
You don't remember the name?
I'm trying to remember. I think I know, but and
you know it now.
And there's a reason why it's
Time's up.
Okay, there's a reason why this is called it, but I'm trying to. I want to say it's in reference to his songbook, maybe. I can't remember. Is it? It's like Green Book or something like that. It is the Green Book.
The Green Book.
Okay, good.
Wow.
Actually, a really good movie. It won Best Oscar that year.
It won Best
Picture.
Best Picture that year.
Yeah, that was.
I really love that. That was like my number 2 movie that year.
Yeah.
Really good. Wow, you got that.
Thank you.
You've seen it. You've seen it.
I actually really liked it. Because the guy wasn't, and I could be very wrong. I may be thinking of 2 different actors. Wasn't the black actor? Wasn't he in the movie that won the year prior in Moonlight? Didn't he?
Yes, Mahershala Ali.
Okay, he had a small role, or not a small role. He was like the father figure, I think, in that.
I think he was the dad in Moonlight.
And then, of course, Viggo Mortensen.
Moonlight's in 2016, and then the Green Book was 2018. So it's 2 years apart,
couple
but
years.
even still.
Because I think sprinkled somewhere in there for Best Picture was either Birdman or what was the other one? The other one with Michael Keaton in it. I think we talked about it. It's actually a really good movie. What is it?
The one that won
light.
in 2017?
Yeah, something light. Oh my goodness, this is gonna bother me. Because we watched it recently and it's fantastic movie. Let's see. And I just want to say it so that I can remember. Spotlight.
Oh.
Spotlight is...
No, you told me about that.
Yeah, very good movie. You need to watch it still. It's fantastic. But yeah, wow. I haven't had a win in a while.
I don't know if either of us had a win in a while.
So I am happy about this.
I'm impressed.
So, thank you. Okay, yeah. So
but yeah, when you started asking about occupations, I'm like, he might be onto something here. Because the whole point of the movie is that there's a pianist, a black pianist.
Yeah.
And then he got... the guy who plays by Viggo Mortensen.
He's like his driver.
He's like the He was like the private driver security guy that he hired on, and so the whole movie is about like I guess it's based on a true story, and he of course he's a black pianist and he's really really good, but there's a lot of people that discriminate against him.
Yeah.
And so the driver kind of like backs him up.
Because it's in that kind of that timepiece where it's
but the driver is like with him along the way and backs him up, and I don't remember it very. I don't remember it very well, but I remember I really really liked it. I want to rewatch it.
And Viggo Mortensen I think was a Italian American as well.
Yeah.
And it was very very good. Very good movie. So what's your punishment, I guess?
Yeah, okay, so there's the one scene in Hook where Peter Pan gets to where the Lost Boys are at, and they're kind of messing with them a little bit and do a number of different things. They actually think he's a pirate at first. They're like, all adults are pirates, and we kill pirates, which is actually funny that Rufio's like, we kill pirates. And then they get to the end with the war scene, and they're fighting them with tomatoes and marbles and just like undescriptive colored goo. Yeah. And it's like, and it's like, you aren't killing these pirates. They're killing you actually because Rufio died. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
They're fighting pirates who have real swords and real cannons versus tomatoes and marbles. Anyway, I just thought it was funny. We kill pirates. No, you don't. So anyway, there's one part where Peter Pan gets a basketball thrown in his face.
Oh yeah.
And so
where they're like, play.
Yeah. And so you're gonna just throw this ball at my face.
I love how your punishments are always just like hitting.
Yeah, hitting. Well, it's a good punishment. I got this instead of a basketball because a basketball would really hurt if you got it in the face. It's a dodgeball.
Yeah, that.
Try not to break anything.
I'll try not to. I'll just do a light toss.
Don't break it off my face.
I'll do a light toss.
I don't care if you break my face, but if it comes off and breaks my laptop.
Oh, good point. I'll try to hit it to where it's like angled that way.
Okay.
So, I'll throw it. I'll throw it how I would hope that you would throw it to me, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Oh, that wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad. Okay,
we didn't break anything.
I was so gentle with it too. But
well,
all right.
It's not the worst punishment, but we can't have punishments that we almost die every week.
Yeah.
Because eventually one of us will die.
Yeah. I feel
eventually both of us will die.
And you will die.
And
too,
you will
Munchies.
die too.
Everyone will die.
Everyone will die, but hopefully not on the podcast.
Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, hopefully not. It was more humiliating, I guess, than hurting. But yeah. If you learned anything today,
you will die.
You will die.
We are all headed to the grave.
Yeah. All right. On that light note.
On that note.
Oh wait.
You know what? Here's what I'll say. Death is great because it makes you know, lets you know that life is worth living because you will eventually no longer have it.
Put that on a bumper.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
We'll put that on the next CineBites T-shirt.
Any recommendations?
Oh, yes. My recommendation. Shoot, I had it and then I forgot it. I guess quick rec for the Green Book if you haven't seen that. Is it Green Book or The Green Book? I guess it's just Green Book.
Oh no,
you actually got it more right than I did because I thought it was The Green Book.
Extra
anyway,
points. You get ball thrown in your face again.
Get bone thrall. I can't speak English. Anyway, watch Green Book if you haven't seen Green Book. Great movie. My recommendation actually this week is I've been we actually got a house recently.
Yeah, congratulations.
So that's very exciting. And so anyway, we've been working on the house, and there's been a lot of times of me just working at the house by myself because Rachel's with the kids. And so I'll put on podcasts and stuff. So one podcast I want to recommend, I don't know why I just yawned.
I was like,
I'm just really bored.
Is that exciting of a podcast?
I'm just so bored.
I don't know if I want to take this recommendation.
I don't know. I've been working on the house, so I'm really tired.
Yeah, a lot of work.
My butt is sore.
That's what made you think of, or made you tired, is thinking about how much work you put into it.
I don't know why I was lifting up furniture yesterday, and I woke up this morning and my butt's sore.
Yeah.
If there's a doctor out there, I guess I'm working my glutes.
Working those glutes.
That's not bad.
You know, they say don't lift with your back, lift with your glutes. That's what they say.
Oh, they say lift your legs, but
I've heard glutes.
I guess your glutes are kind of in your legs.
Yeah, part of it.
So anyway, my recommendation is for a podcast that I've listened to on and off for many years. Is Crime Junkie. Have you ever heard of that podcast?
No, I don't think so.
So,
I have like 20 podcasts that I'm filtering
So
through.
if you are into like true crime stuff, the Crime Junkie podcast is one of the biggest, I think, crime podcasts out there.
Is that the one where they talked about the bowling alley?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's
I've heard
there's a
about
ton of
this.
episodes. So Crime Junkie is actually based out of Indiana, out of Indianapolis. The hosts live in Indiana, so that's
Whoa.
kind of neat.
That is.
But anyway, Crime Junkie, it's like a true crime podcast. So they do all kinds of different crime things. So like murders, serial killings, people who are missing, other weird, whatever else. There's a large variety of different things. And I just listened to the 2 episodes the other day on the Alphabet murders back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Of the serial killer that went after these kids, but for some reason, all of them, their first and last names started with the same letter. All of these people that he killed,
Crazy.
but they still don't know if he did that on purpose or if it's just a crazy accident.
Yeah,
because if it was a crazy coincidence, the chances are like 0.003% that he was able to do this.
Yeah,
but they don't know if it were on purpose, how he would have known these kids. And anyway, because they just seem like they just got picked up off the side of the street.
Wow,
anyway, that's a whole thing. Crime Junkie is a very good podcast.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for another podcast or you like true crime stuff, it's the type of thing where it's, I don't know, to me it kind of seems boring at first, but then I start listening to an episode and I get hooked in immediately, and I'm like, I gotta find out what happens.
Yeah.
So
good recommendation. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
So anyway, that's my recommendation for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast as we imagined some pie and some papaya lassi together, and enjoyed going through Hook, which may or may not be one of your favorite movies. It's not one of mine. But I still like it, okay? I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I want to go on the record saying that. But anyway, thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube. If you're watching it right now, you've already found us on YouTube. If you're listening, or if you want to listen, you can find us on all podcasting platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I don't know what else. There's like a million that we're on. So anyway, find us on those, and follow us on Instagram as well. Keep up with us, and we like to get messages and get engagement from you guys to hear you guys listening to the episodes and liking them. So thanks for listening. Bon appetit and happy viewing.